Yeah, I left the island about early winter, and the idea was to sail up to where I used to work, PNG, Milne Bay province, on the eastern end, and see some people I still know, visit the girl's mother's island, and sail around. So we did, took off up the Bundy, out from Bundaberg, around the Swain Reefs, so you got more of a northerly course. And if you do get southeasterlies, they should be coming over your shoulder, so it makes it pretty good. A bit longer to go in one hit, about 900 miles out from Bundy. So we did all that. A couple of months there. Seeing people, blah, blah, blah. And sailed back to Cairns. That's where Suzanne lives, one of the daughters. Cairns, down to Harvey Bay, where Stella lives. Stopped there and then down to Pittwater. That's where Margaret lives. And then we were pushing off home, just before all the Sydney Hobart crew. 100 boats coming down on your neck. And we had a southerly change. I stopped at Eden. I was waiting for a bit of east, which I thought it would go eventually. I pushed off from Eden, go around the corner, southeast, motor sailing, down to Gabo. That was Saturday, December. Got to Gabo with the engine on and off, motor sailing because of the headwinds. We got down to Gabo and it all died, going around the light at midnight. But it did start to come up a little bit east. So by the morning, we had full sail. Pole out. Everything was humming. So I thought, oh, this is cool. Tomorrow we'll get round the prom and head up to the island. The weather deteriorated.
It went down to 24.
Got worse.
As a whole.
And worse. And then a bit more worse.
See you later.
So that would have been the Sunday. Saturday leaving Eden. Get down to Gabo, Saturday night. Sunday morning was looking good. Boat was humming, full sail. Away we go. But like I said, the weather just got worse. And then a bit more worse. The wind's a bit stronger, but that boat seems to like it off the wind. Or can handle it. I don't know whether it likes it. Handles it pretty well. Probably the double-ender shape. Or the banana type shape. V. Yeah, but it handles it well. So everything was under control. So we kept on, so that was the Sunday, yeah. But the weather got bad. And Sunday night was pretty strong. Sorting your way through the oil rigs. Had the engine on then. Because I had to go to the weather side of one. I didn't want to go to the leeward side. Because I figured we better get some sea room up to the... Because it was sort of southeast. east or southeast, Papa. And then Christmas morning, Monday,
I'll be sleeping in the bed.
the weather was looking pretty bad.
Somewhere.
And so I thought we'd
Okay.
just head into refuge where
Perfect.
I know where to go. I've been there plenty of times. So we headed to refuge to take a break while all this heavy weather.
We'll see all of my reef first.
And then we get to within under 5 miles, I suppose, when you could start to see the land and the sort of, you know, the cliffs and the waves smashing everywhere. Pretty small entrance to refuge.
Not far. Halfway.
So we're about 2-3 miles. I said, well, let's start the engine and
Another 106 down.
get everything ready to go in. So I go down,
Big
the
island. The one down there's only 50
starter.
miles long and
electronic sort of
18 miles wide.
ignition on. We got heaps of power, full power.
Coral Island.
I go to push the starter,
Oh, it's a big lagoon sort of thing.
0.
And after that, there's only another 380.
Nothing.
That's it. It's the other half.
Never done that before.
So that's why
And gave me no reason to believe it wouldn't start.
I'm trying to get this
So I switch all the power down
because where I'm headed now,
to the engine, you know,
that could be it for the rest of the whole
and then
it's,
start it all up again.
480
The dash
miles.
on. Everything on the dash is fine. Everything's fine. The engine hadn't even done 800 hours, that thing.
So that's,
Like new.
that's it for now.
I go to push the starter.
It's about the best kind of
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
for this conditions.
So we were totally committed to go in
Yeah, good day for
because of where we were.
sail in the blue ocean.
So then I said, well, okay, we're going to go in under sail. Yeah, pretty hairy in those conditions. We had the sail set was okay, reefed, and
Everything's been going non-stop.
under those conditions, that's what you do, because we wouldn't want to damage the boat, would we?
24 hours a day.
Anyway, I know what to look for once you can see it, refuge. And the GPS is working okay. And I put the boat exactly where I wanted it to be, to get in there, under sail. So all that was fine. Coming into the refuge cove, you could hear the waves breaking down the boat. And I'm going, what? Waves are breaking outside refuge. Yeah. But we steered through it. And we got in there, but the next little problem, you got to turn to the port side, left, you know. And we got about 150 metres to get up to the beach. We drop anchor, it's all over. So we get around the light, get around the rocks, turn up the port side, and I said, well, this is going to be, we don't know what's going to happen here. Well, I need a bit of luck with the wind, just to sort of ghost up. And then we get maybe 25 metres around the...
Oh!
Got smashed with a backwinding, vicious wind. Backwinded, so that just means the boat stops and pushes anyway which way the wind was pushing it. Because we got no motor. Starter motor didn't work. So we spent about 3/4 of an hour, I suppose, trying to get another run at the anchorage. But the wind was going crazy and coming all around the place inside the refuge, because they're all of sort of cliffs and mountains. So we couldn't get the boat to come about into the wind, and we're getting close to the rocks on the other side. There's not much room to move in there for 12-metre catamaran and single-handed. So then I managed to jibe the boat. So the wind's coming behind you when you turn. Whoa. Rad. Oh, all hell breaks loose if you do that, if you're on your own. Because you can't control both sails at once. And if you don't get a handle on the head sail, those sheets are just going to go into crazy, just knots. It'll just go bananas. And on the mainsail, so all in all, it's just too difficult with that much wind to manoeuvre the boat in a small area. 10 knots, easy, but not 30 plus, because that's what it was doing. So I figured, well, we're not going to win this one here. So we had to drop anchor out in the sort of east-west where the entrance is, but halfway. You're halfway towards the other end, the beach. Dropped anchor, and then I thought, well, I better have a look at the engine. And you take bearings when you drop the anchor to see where you're holding or you're moving, or you can do that with GPS. You can't do everything at once. And we held for an hour, I suppose. And we started to get dragged backwards because the swell was coming up inside there. And the wind was blasting. So I had a quick look at the engine, but I was a bit worried about we were dragging, so I had another whole anchor rig ready to go anytime. So I figured, well, that's better out there than sitting on board the boat. So I threw out second anchor. That held for a while. And it was still dragging. The wind was getting worse. So I said, I thought, I didn't say it. I thought, I better start doing some of this, get some attention. So I let off a couple of flares. The smoke went, well, that's not going to do anything. So a whole bunch of flares there. So I grab a rocket and shoot it over the other guy's boats. See if I can get some attention. I tried to row over there. No way. I don't mind rowing, but too much wind. Too much wind. I even tried to put the sail up on the dinghy so I didn't have to row. No way. Wind's just too strong. And we didn't want to damage the dinghy, did we? So got back on board the boat, and we're still dragging back, and no real time to have a serious look at the engine other than try and short it, start a motor, and then you've got to switch ignition on sort of the same time, so it gets a bit complicated under those conditions. So I hit channel 16. They are saying, well, what assistance do you need? I said, need someone to help me start the motor or get a tow off here because the motor has failed to start. The Yamaha starter motor didn't want to work. First and last time it did that. And then one of these guys in the other boat, there were two other boats anchored there. He was a New Zealand guy, and he heard the channel 16. He was a New Zealander, and he answered, because I got channels, I'm the radio, everything's working except the starter motor. Yeah, the whole boat's fine. We got in there okay. And if the engine just switched on, we just would have motored up the anchorage and dropped it. And that's it. Fine. That didn't happen. So yeah, this New Zealand guy heard the Channel 16 called, and he said to the guy, he said, "No, I'm in a refuge cove. I'll go down and see what I can do, bro." Yeah, so he turned up. He's a rubber ducky in Outport, come alongside. He was good. And he said, "We try and short it." Yeah, I sort of had a shot at that, but it's pretty hard to be in two places at once. I said, "You hop over the motor and I'll give you the stuff you want. You just call for it and I know where everything is." So tried this, tried that. We got some sparks and stuff happening. But no can do, start the engine. And he said, "I think you've got more problems here, bro." Meanwhile, we're dragging back to the beach still. And we got closer and closer, the swells are getting bigger, wind's blasting. And he had his rubber ducky next to the boat, and just before we got really into the break, I said to him, "You better hop off and get back to your boat." So, we were both up on deck then, just having a look how close we were, and the main anchor just exploded. It's on a bridle, 8mm chain, just exploded like a cannon. The anchor must have grabbed onto a rock or something, and the big, the shore break, pushing the boat back right at the shore break, and the anchor just exploded. So he said, "I think that's it, bro." And I looked at him and I said, "Yeah, up in your dinghy and go back to your boat." So he did. And then 30 seconds after that, because the main anchor had gone, 30 seconds after that, boat hits the beach for the first time. And I thought I better step off. So I did. Just with the clothes I had on, jacket, track pants and some waterproofs. So I just hopped off in between the shore breaks. And before the next break came, which caught us about waist deep, I guess. And I'm saying, dig in, don't let it take you back. You're going under the boat. Which I did. The wave went back. I go up to the beach. By then, boats start taking a pounding. And I go up to the bushes, sit down, and just watch it being disintegrated. No one else there. And I was thinking, oh, well, you built the boat, you sailed the boat, now you sit here by yourself watching it absolutely be disintegrated in front of your eyes. No one else there. Weather's too bad. Anyway, I got to walk around a refuge where I know there's water. The boat's already been smashed up, and I go down to the beach to see if any water bottles from the boat. Busting, dying of thirst then, after all our entertainment action. Couldn't find any bottles of water. Found a couple of cans of beer. I said, well, it's got to be some water in this. Even though I'm dying of thirst, and I said, it's probably not the best idea, but that's all there was. So I drink one or two, and then proceed to go up the well, you know, there's parts going all over the prom, bushwalkers, and there's a campsite around a refuge cove, and they've organised some pipe water and stuff there. But I was feeling a bit tired by then. So I decided to sit down and have a bit of a rest and wait until I felt it. All the clothes are waterlogged, the boots are waterlogged. Legs feel like they're about 100 pounds each, 50 kilos. So I sit down, having a bit of a rest, just watching the boat was just smashed smithereens. Some of the shore breaks were bigger than the boat. And one of them just about turned it over. Got it up to about 70, 80 degrees. Nothing's going to survive that. Anyway, so I sat down, bit of a rest, think about, well, I've got to walk all the way around there. Well, let's have a break. And then the Maori guy came back in his dinghy. I said, what's he doing out there? Can't be fishing. And he starts waving his oar, paddle. Yeah, just paddles in the rubber ducky. So I sort of looked at it, you know, and he's waving the... And I was looking, I said, what's he talking to me? So I gathered his message with yours. He wanted me to go to the other end of the beach is half the shore break, less than half. But we're at the worst end because that's where the wind and swells took us. So he's waving, I go back, we go up to the other end of the beach. He comes in, and he's still got numbered in the shore break in his rubber ducky. We turned that over, and him, but he just stood up, and we dragged up the rubber ducky, got the water out of it, and then picked a time to get through the break, and we paddled for about half an hour just to get back to his boat across refuge, because the outboard wasn't working by then. It took a dunking. And he said, hey bro, they lost you. And he said, who lost me? There was a oil rig supply boat outside refuge, hopelessly too big to come in and do anything. So there weren't much help. He said, they got you on binos. And then you disappeared. I said I was taking a break and the bush's just there. And when I felt like it, I'd walk over. Oh, okay. Yeah, half an hour paddling his rubber ducky. Whoa, in that wind. You ever tried paddling a rubber ducky in 30 knots? That's why it takes half an hour. And he's gone, come on, bro, dig, 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 dig. We can do this. We can do this. Which we did. Got back to his boat. And then a chopper comes over. And he says, oh, I think that's your lift. I go, what? So he made a cup of coffee. Drunk that. Next minute, they dropped down a paramedic to this police rescue or something. Saunders. Pocket rocket. So we go ashore. She grabs me in a harness. I looked at her. She said, what are you doing? I said, I just want to know who I'm working with. Anyway, we get zapped up into the chopper. Back to Leongatha. The refuel mainly. And then because of Channel 16 and the whole procedure, the cops pick you up, chopper, they ask you, what happened? Well, they should be listening to this recording, shouldn't they? So I go through the story. Anyway, the ambulance there. We end up going straight to Wani Hospital. Of course, the ambulance guy said, what happened? That's why we're making this recording. Anyway, they check us all out at Wantagi Hospital, and they actually gave me a cab voucher late that Christmas night. Merry Christmas, Mr. Peter. So I eventually got back home and nobody there. Managed to get inside through the kitchen window. Yeah, I just wanted to go to bed. And that's what happened.